Every family has a story. The tale of the Wilson family begins in the 19th century, crosses continents, and spans 2 world wars, the Great Depression, and the origins of an American business, Ernest Paper Products, a company that still thrives today. 3 generations of Wilsons have their roots here in the United States, and this is their rags to riches success story.
My father met my mother in Chicago. He would go to shul, and my grandfather, my mother's father, met him there and brought him to the house where he stayed, as they did in those days. They sort of board in. And apparently things worked out between he and my mother, and they got married. Probably the most difficult thing that happened to us happened at the Great Depression. And during that time, our father died. That was a traumatic experience for all of us.
It was a really bad time because the Depression, my father never left a will. We basically lost everything over the next year or 2. And I can still remember my mother going downtown, and I realized she was taking some of her jewelry with her. It's pretty sad because when she'd come back, she didn't have the jewelry, but she had some money. She pawned or sold all of her jewelry over this period of time. My mother was always a very big optimist, and my mother would inspire us that days would come and you just keep working, and pretty soon everything's going to be great. And I think that both of us, we were never going to let anything stop us. In January of '44, I was informed that I was going to be drafted. I had mixed emotions. I didn't want to leave my mother. She wasn't well, but she was a real trooper. She said, no, whatever happens. And I had to go. Towards the end of December, the Battle of Bulge started, and we ended up being transferred to Patton's army from Patch's army. And that's when I got hit by shrapnel, and that's when I got my Purple Heart. And I didn't know about it later, and for months or so that I got my Bronze Star there too.
Chuck was honorably discharged from the service in 1946. He returned to Los Angeles and went to work on his brother's new enterprise, Ernest Paper Products.
There was a Wilson Paper Company, which was our cousin's name. So when my brother started the company, he tried to figure out a name, and he came up with his first name, which was Ernest. And that's how we got the name of the company. My brother really started, it was his business, but we were equal partners because that's what he decided to do, and it was pretty nice of him.
The business was terrific. It's like putting a seed in the ground and watching it grow up to a beautiful rose.
The Wilsons share a love of learning and a love of laughter, gifts they hope they have imparted to generations to come.
There's a Yiddish expression, I don't know if everyone knows, but was fällt mir?
Was fällt mir.
Was fällt mir?
That means
what's lacking?
What's lacking for us? I think that we've got a couple of good stories to tell. From our vantage point, life's too short not to appreciate that every day's a gift.
There's no better way that can be said.